Puss in Boots is a 2011 American animated adventure comedy film featuring the titular character originally from Shrek 2, 2004, and inspired by the fairy tale. Produced by DreamWorks Animation, the film was directed by Chris Miller and written by Tom Wheeler. Antonio Banderas stars as Puss in Boots, alongside Salma Hayek, Zach Galifianakis, Billy Bob Thornton, and Amy Sedaris. The film follows the origin story of Puss in Boots, before the events of Shrek 2. Accompanied by his friends, Humpty Dumpty and Kitty Softpaws, Puss is pitted against Jack and Jill, two murderous outlaws, for ownership of 3 legendary magical beans that lead to a great fortune of golden eggs from the Great Terror, a gigantic goose. Development began following the release of Shrek 2 in 2004. Originally titled Puss in Boots, the story of an ogre killer, it was announced as a direct-to-video film, scheduled to be released in 2008. In October 2006, the film was redeveloped as a theatrical release, with Shrek III, 2007, director Miller joining the project. Puss in Boots had its world premiere on October 16, 2011, aboard the cruise ship Allure of the Seas, and was released in theaters in the United States on October 28 by Paramount Pictures. The film was a critical and commercial success, grossing $555 million on a production budget of $130 million. At the 84th Academy Awards, the film was nominated for Best Animated Feature. A television series spin-off, The Adventures of Puss in Boots, premiered in January 2015, and a sequel, Puss in Boots, The Last Wish, was released in 2022. Plot: Puss in Boots is a Spanish-speaking anthropomorphic cat, named for his signature pair of boots. A fugitive on the run from the law, Puss is seeking to restore his lost honor. One night, he learns that the murderous outlaw couple Jack and Jill have the magic beans he has long sought, which can lead him to a giant's castle known by legend to contain valuable golden goose eggs. When Puss attempts to steal the beans at their hideout, a female cat named Kitty Softpaws interrupts. She was hired to steal them as well by Humpty Dumpty, a talking egg and Puss' long-estranged childhood friend from the orphanage in San Ricardo, where they both were raised. Puss tells Kitty his origin story. He has been on the run from the law ever since Humpty tricked him into assisting in what turned out to be a failed bank robbery when they were teenagers. Humpty eventually persuades Puss to join them in finding the beans and retrieving the golden eggs. Puss and Kitty's relationship turns romantic and, despite Puss's initial grudge against Humpty, he slowly warms up to him. The trio steals the beans from Jack and Jill and plants them in the desert. They ride the beanstalk into the clouds and enter the giant's castle. There, Humpty reveals to Puss that the giant died a long time ago, but they manage to avoid the Great Terror who guards the golden goose and the golden eggs. They soon realize the eggs are too heavy, so decide to steal the golden goose after witnessing it lay miniature ones. They manage to escape the castle and cut down the beanstalk. After celebrating, the group is ambushed by Jack and Jill, and Puss is knocked unconscious. When he wakes, Puss assumes Humpty and Kitty were kidnapped and tracks Jack and Jill's wagon back to San Ricardo, where he learns that the kidnapping was staged. Jack, Jill, and Kitty are all working for Humpty, who is seeking revenge against him for abandoning him to be arrested. Puss is surrounded by the town's militia and turns himself in following pleas from his adoptive mother, Imelda. As he is hauled away to prison, Humpty is celebrated as a hero for bringing the wealth of golden eggs to the townspeople. In prison, Puss meets Andy Jack Beanstalk, who reveals that Humpty stole the beans from him when they shared a cell years ago. Jack explains to Puss that the Great Terror is the golden goose's mother, a gigantic bird who will stop at nothing to rescue her baby. Puss realizes that luring the huge goose to destroy San Ricardo was Humpty's intention all along, as he held a grudge against the town for imprisoning him. Kitty frees Puss from prison and apologizes, revealing her feelings for him. He locates Humpty in time and convinces him to redeem himself by helping to save San Ricardo from destruction. Using the gosling as bait, Puss and Humpty are able to lure the Great Terror away from town. With Kitty's help, they also thwart Jack and Jill's attempts to steal the gosling during the chase. As the group reaches the outskirts of town, Humpty and the gosling are knocked off a collapsing bridge, but manage to hang onto a rope that Puss grabs. When it becomes evident that Puss cannot save them both, Humpty sacrifices himself by letting go. After a fatal impact, Puss discovers that Humpty has a large golden egg underneath his shell. The Great Terror is reunited with her gosling, and she takes Humpty's golden egg and returns to her home in the clouds. Despite being hailed a hero by the townspeople for saving San Ricardo, Puss is still a fugitive in the eyes of the militia. He reunites with Imelda, who expresses her pride and love for Puss before he flees with Kitty, who playfully steals his boots. In the epilogue, Jack and Jill are recovering from their injuries. A restored Humpty is seen wearing a golden egg costume and dancing on the Great Terror's back with her gosling, and Puss and Kitty share a kiss. Voice cast. Main article, list of characters in the Shrek franchise. Salma Hayek, Antonio Banderas, and a costumed Puss in Boots at a premiere of the film in Paris. Antonio Banderas as Puss in Boots, a fugitive orange tabby cat trying to restore his reputation as the hero of San Ricardo. Salma Hayek as Kitty Softpaws, a street-savvy tuxedo cat who is Puss' female counterpart and love interest. Zach Galifianakis as Humpty Alexander Dumpty, the mastermind who intends to retrieve the golden eggs from the one-of-a-kind goose. Billy Bob Thornton and Amy Sedaris as Jack and Jill respectively, a murderous outlaw married couple who owns the 3 legendary magical beans. Constance Marie as Imelda, Puss' human adoptive mother. Mike Mitchell as Andy Jack Beanstalk. Guillermo del Toro as Comandante, the military leader of San Ricardo dispatched to capture Puss. Chris Miller as Little Boy Blue, Friar Miller, prison guard, Manuel and Raphael. Production. Top, Zach Galifianakis, Billy Bob Thornton and Amy Sedaris provide the voices for Humpty Alexander Dumpty, Jack, and Jill. Bottom, Constance Marie and Guillermo del Toro voices Imelda and Comandante. The film had been in development since 2004, when Shrek 2 was released. 6. Chris Miller, who worked as head of story in Shrek 2, was a big proponent of making a spin-off film centered on Puss in Boots due to his love for the character and the intriguing story potential he had, given the adventures he mentions to have had in the film. 7. As a Shrek 2 spin-off, it was initially planned for release in 2008 as a direct-to-video film made then titled Puss in Boots, The Story of an Ogre Killer. 9. By October 2006, the film was reslated as a theatrical release due to market conditions. 10. And DreamWorks Animation's realization that the Puss character deserved more. 11. Miller was hired to direct the film immediately after directing Shrek the Third. 7. In September 2010, Guillermo del Toro signed on as executive producer. 12. Having exited from The Hobbit, del Toro was invited by the crew to watch an early screening of the film, half animated and half storyboarded, which del Toro loved and asked them if he could be somehow involved in the production. 7. Discussing del Toro, Miller stated, "We worked out a system for him to come in once every few months or whenever we had something new to show him. If we needed someone to bounce ideas off of, he was always there, and if we had a problem we were tackling, we'd get Guillermo on the red phone, our emergency phone, and ask him for advice on what we should do with a certain character or scene. It was like having our own film school." Miller stated that del Toro was particularly involved in Humpty Dumpty's character design, suggesting to make him more like Da Vinci. 11. It was del Toro's idea to make Humpty an ingenious freak of nature who builds contraptions such as a flying machine. 13. Del Toro rewrote the ending to redeem the character and deepen his relationship with Puss, an unconventional conclusion for a family film. 14. He helped design the fantasy elements of the giant's castle, as well as the architecture of the town, which he conceived as an amalgam of Spain and Mexico. 13. During the film's production, the filmmakers struggled for a long time about including the giant from Jack and the Beanstalk, an English fairy tale from which the magic beans and the castle in the clouds were borrowed. As the filmmakers had already figured out the giant's world, the giant itself was challenging for them. They wanted to depict him faithfully like the classic fairy tale legend giant, but despite how hard they tried to incorporate him into the story, his presence turned out to be predictable. In the end, it was decided to have the giant killed off-screen in order to subvert fairy tale's expectations. 7. Antonio Banderas reprised his role as Puss in Boots from the Shrek films. According to Miller, the crew wanted to cast Zach Galifianakis, Billy Bob Thornton, Amy Sedaris, and Salma Hayek early on during production. As Humpty Dumpty was Galifianakis' first voice-over role, he was allowed to improvise by the filmmakers. Similarly, Thornton enjoyed the experience of voicing Jack as he was looking to challenge himself with a role out of his comfort zone. Sedaris, with whom Miller had worked before on Shrek the Third, improvised most of her dialogue as Jill, giving almost 50 different versions of her scripted lines. 7. Except for Puss, the film features new characters. Citing the co-writer, David H. Steinberg, it doesn't overlap with Shrek at all. Partly that was done to tell an original Puss story, but partly because we didn't know what Shrek 4 was going to do with the characters and we couldn't write conflicting storylines. 15. The film was teased in Shrek Forever After, when Shrek finally shuts the book titled Shrek, and puts it away next to a book titled Puss in Boots. Puss in Boots is the first DreamWorks animation film that was partly made in India. A Bangalore studio owned by Technicolor, which had mainly worked on TV specials and DVD bonus material, spent 6 months animating 3 major scenes in the film. The outsourcing had financial advantages, with 40% fewer labor costs than in the US, but the primary reason for outsourcing to India was the lack of personnel, due to the studio producing as many as 3 films a year. 16. Music. Main article, Puss in Boots, soundtrack. Henry Jackman, the composer for Puss in Boots, utilized folk instruments of traditional Latin music. Inspired by Spanish composer Manuel de Falla, Jackman blended guitars and Latin percussion with an orchestral sound influenced by Claude Debussy and Maurice Ravel. 17. Mexican guitar duo Rodrigo y Gabriela contributed to Jackman's score, and 2 of their songs, Diablo Rojo and Hanuman, were included in the soundtrack. 18. Lady Gaga's song Americano was also featured in the film. 1920. The soundtrack for the film, featuring the original score by Jackman, was released on October 26, 2011, by Sony Classical. 21. On December 5, 2011, Paramount and DreamWorks released the complete score as part of their For Your Consideration, FYC, campaign. 22. Release. Puss in Boots was originally set for release on March 30, 2012, but was moved ahead to November 4, 2011, taking over the release date of Rise of the Guardians, however was instead pushed a week earlier to October 28, 2011. 23. 24 and Globe, head of worldwide marketing for DreamWorks Animation, said the decision to move the film's release date a week earlier was to attract parents and their children to see the film before other family-friendly films were released in November 2011. 25. The film was renamed Cat in Boots in the United Arab Emirates for officially unknown reasons, but it is suspected for religious and cultural reasons. 26. 27. According to the UAE's the National Media Council, which is responsible for censorship, the UAE didn't have any involvement in the rename and that the decision to change the name had been made by the Hollywood studio and the movie distributors in the UAE. 28. Consequently, since the film's distributor was based in the UAE, the same print was syndicated to all theaters throughout the Middle East. However, the name change was limited to the film's original theatrical run, as merchandise and later regional home media releases retained the film's original title. Puss in Boots had its world premiere on October 16, 2011, Docking the Royal Caribbean International's cruise ship Allure of the Seas, docked in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, at the time. 29:30 it was theatrically released in the United States on October 28, 2011. 30 the film was digitally remastered into IMAX 3D, and was released in 268 North American IMAX theaters and at least 47 IMAX theaters outside North America. 31. Home media. Puss in Boots was released on DVD, Blu-ray, and Blu-ray 3D on February 24, 2012. The movie was accompanied by a short animated film titled Puss in Boots, The Three Diablos. 32 It grossed $72.3 million in home video sales and was the 10th best-selling title of 2012. 33-34. Another featured extra short is Klepto Kitty, a 3-minute profile of Dusty the Klepto Kitty, a notorious cat in California who steals items from neighbors' yards, some of it captured on a night vision kitty cam, hung around Dusty's neck by the Animal Planet Network for their own documentary. 35. Puss in Boots was released on 4K Ultra HD Blu-ray on November 22, 2022, 1 month before the sequel was released. 36. Reception. Box office. Puss in Boots grossed $149.2 million in the United States and Canada, and $405.7 million in other countries, for a worldwide total of $555 million. 3. It was the 11th highest grossing film of 2011 and is also the 3rd highest grossing animated film that year behind Kung Fu Panda 2, $665.7 million, and Cars 2, $559.9 million. 37. In North America, Puss in Boots topped the box office on its opening day with $9.6 million. 38 On its opening weekend, the film made $34.10 million. 39.40 topping Saw II's record, $33.6 million, for the highest Halloween weekend opening ever. 41 It held this record for 12 years until Five Nights at Freddy's, $80 million, surpassed it in 2023. 42 The film retained first place during its second weekend, with $33.1 million, declining only 3%. 43 By this point, it had the smallest decline of any non-holiday film, surpassing Twister. 44. Outside North America, on its opening weekend, it earned second place with $17.2 million. 45 The film opened at number 1 in both the UK with a weekend gross of £1.98 million, $3.1 million, 46 and Australia, with $2.98 million. 47 It topped the box office outside North America on its 7th weekend with $47.1 million from 40 countries. 48 It ranks as the 9th highest grossing film of 2011 outside North America. 49 Its highest grossing country after North America was Russia and the CIS, $50.6 million, followed by Germany, $33.9 million, and France and the Maghreb region, $33.2 million. 50. Critical response. On Rotten Tomatoes, Puss in Boots has an approval rating of 85% based on 151 reviews, with an average rating of 6.9/10. The site's critical consensus reads, "It isn't deep or groundbreaking, but what it lacks in profundity, Puss in Boots more than makes up for with an abundance of wit, visual sparkle, and effervescent charm." 51. Metacritic gave Puss in Boots a weighted average score of 65 out of 100 based on 24 critics, indicating generally favorable reviews. 52 CinemaScore polls reported that the average grade moviegoers gave the film was an A on an A+ to F scale. 53. Todd McCarthy of The Hollywood Reporter gave the film a positive review, saying Puss in Boots is a perfectly diverting romp that happens to showcase some of the best 3D work yet from a mainstream animated feature. Colorful, clever enough, free of cloying showbiz in jokes, action-packed without being ridiculous about it, and even well choreographed. 54. Peter de Brugge of Variety gave the film a positive review, saying Puss' origin story could easily stand on its own, a testament to clever writing on the part of its creative team and an irresistible central performance by Antonio Banderas. 55. Christy Lemire of the Associated Press gave the film 3 out of 4 stars, saying for quick, lively, family-friendly entertainment, Puss in Boots works just fine, even in 3D, which is integrated thoughtfully into the narrative and doesn't just feel like a gimmick. 56. Bill Goody Kuntz of the Arizona Republic gave the film 3.5 stars out of 5, saying as good as Banderas and Hayek are together, Galifianakis is better, making Humpty Dumpty, of all people, one of the more intriguing animated characters to come along in a while. He's a nice surprise. 57. Moira MacDonald of the Seattle Times gave the film 3 out of 4 stars, saying I left dreaming of a world in which cats could tango, and when's the last time a movie did that? 58. Marjorie Baumgarten of the Austin Chronicle gave the film 3 out of 5 stars, saying the seductive interplay of Banderas and Hayek, the barely recognizable vocal contributions of Galifianakis, and the southern backwoods speech of Thornton and Sedaris all keep us attuned to the events on the screen. 59. Owen Gleiberman of Entertainment Weekly gave the film a C, saying in the Shrek films, the joke of Puss in Boots, with his trilled consonants and penchant for chest-puffing sword duels, is that no one this cuddly should try to be this dashing. But in Puss in Boots, that joke wears out its welcome in 15 minutes. 60. Ty Burr of the Boston Globe gave the film 3 out of 4 stars, saying Puss in Boots doesn't break any new ground in the storytelling department, and its reliance on go-go-go state-of-the-art action sequences grows wearying by the end, but the movie has a devilish wit that works for parent and child alike. 61. Elizabeth Weitzman of the New York Daily News gave the film 4 out of 5 stars, saying it's always a pleasure to find a family film that respects its audience all the way up the line. 62. Colin Covert of the Star Tribune gave the film 1.5 stars out of 4, saying remember that toy where you yank a string and hear the sound of a barnyard animal? Puss in Boots has about half as much entertainment value. 63. Ollie Richards of Empire gave the film 3 out of 5 stars, saying like most kittens, it's not always perfectly behaved, but at least this new Puss adventure doesn't have you reaching for the cinematic spray bottle. And thank goodness the spin-off does nothing to neuter the charismatic cat's appeal. 64. Stan Hall of the Oregonian gave the film a B, saying Puss in Boots isn't particularly deep, nor does it take itself seriously, it just wants to seek glory, win affection, and cash in. Done, done, and done. 65. Kenneth Turan of the Los Angeles Times gave the film 4 out of 5 stars, saying perhaps the most engaging thing about Puss in Boots is that it never takes itself too seriously. 66. Stephen Holden of the New York Times gave the film 3.5 stars out of 5, saying it is a cheerfully chaotic jumble of fairy tale and nursery rhyme characters parachuted into a Spanish storybook setting. 67. Claudia Puig of USA Today gave the film 3 out of 4 stars, saying with his impeccable comic timing and lyrical Spanish accent, Banderas' swashbuckling charmer is an undeniable treat. 68. Michael O'Sullivan of the Washington Post gave the film 3 out of 4 stars, saying Puss in Boots proves there is at least one cat with multiple lives. The feature-length animated spin-off, a star turn for the popular Shrek supporting character voiced by Antonio Banderas, is almost shockingly good. And not just because a lot of you will approach it with lowered expectations. 69. Stephen Whitty of the Newark Star-Ledger gave the film 3 out of 4 stars, saying an almost perfect little film that even a dog owner can enjoy. 70. Joe Morgenstern of the Wall Street Journal gave the film a positive review, saying Puss made his debut in Shrek 2, then did time in the 2 decreasingly funny sequels. Now he's got a movie of his own, and not a moment too soon. 71. Lisa Kennedy of the Denver Post gave the film 3 out of 4 stars, saying it would overstate matters to say Puss in Boots leaves its cat holding the bag, We had to get that in. But it also leaves its hero awaiting a richer fable, one befitting his charms and his portrayer's talents. 72. Anna Smith of Time Out gave the film 3 out of 5 stars, saying Puss in Boots is uneven, but when it's on course, cat fans will be in heaven. 73. Amy Biancali of the Houston Chronicle gave the film 3 out of 5 stars, saying Puss in Boots prances along on 3 basic truths. 1. Cats are funny. 2. Vain Spanish cats in high-heeled musketeer boots are even funnier. Lastly, booted, vain Spanish cats voiced by a breathy Antonio Banderas are flat-out hilarious. 74. Tasha Robinson of the AV Club gave the film a C+, saying Puss in Boots makes a great theme park ride, a thrill a-minute feast for the eyes and the semicircular canals. But while the settings are impressively multidimensional, the characters are flatter than old-school cell drawings. Jose Antonio Dominguez Bandera, born August 10, 1960, known professionally as Antonio Banderas, is a Spanish actor. Known for his work in films of several genres, he has received numerous accolades, including a Cannes Film Festival Award and a Goya Award, as well as nominations for an Academy Award, 2 Primetime Emmy Awards, 5 Golden Globe Awards, and a Tony Award. Films in which he has appeared have grossed over $7.7 billion worldwide. 1. Banderas made his acting debut at a small theater in Malaga, where he caught the attention of director Pedro Almodóvar, who gave the actor his film debut in the screwball comedy Labyrinth of Passion, 1982. They have since collaborated on many films, including Matador, 1986, Law of Desire, 1987, Women on the Verge of a Nervous Breakdown, 1988, Tie Me Up, Tie Me Down, 1989, The Skin I Live In, 2011, and Pain and Glory, 2019, the last of which earned him the Cannes Film Festival Award for Best Actor, the Goya Award for Best Actor, as well as a nomination for the Academy Award for Best Actor. In 1992, Banderas made his American film debut with the musical drama The Mambo Kings, 1992, followed by roles in Philadelphia, 1993, Interview with the Vampire, 1994, Assassins, 1995, and Evita, 1996. He took roles in franchises playing El Mariachi in Desperado, 1995, and Once Upon a Time in Mexico, 2003, Zorro in the Mask of Zorro, 1998, and The Legend of Zorro, 2005, the Patriarch in the Spy Kids series, 2001 to 2003, and voiced Puss in Boots in the Shrek films, 2004, present. He made his directorial debut with the comedy film Crazy in Alabama, 1999, followed by Summer Rain, 2006. On stage, Banderas made his Broadway theater debut playing an Italian film director in the musical Revival 9, 2003, for which he was nominated for a Tony Award for Best Actor in a Musical. He received Primetime Emmy Award nominations for his roles as Pancho Villa in the HBO television film and starring Pancho Villa as himself, 2004, and Pablo Picasso in the anthology series Genius, 2018. Early life. Jose Antonio Dominguez Bandera II was born on August 10, 1960, in Malaga, Andalusia. To Civil Guard Officer Jose Dominguez Prieto, 1920 to 2008, and schoolteacher Ana Bandera Gallego, 1933 to 2017. 5. He has a younger brother named Francisco. 5. As a young boy, Banderas wanted to become a professional football player until a broken foot sidelined his dreams at the age of 15. He showed a strong interest in the performing arts and formed part of the Era Theater School run by Angeles Rubio Argels y Alessandri, wife of diplomat and filmmaker Edgar Neville, and the College of Dramatic Art, both in Malaga. His work in the theater and his performances on the streets eventually landed him a spot with the Spanish National Theater. 6. Career. 1982 to 1989, Early collaborations with Pedro Almodóvar. Banderas has acted in numerous films directed by Pedro Almodóvar. Photo. Banderas began his acting studies at the School of Dramatic Art in Malaga and made his acting debut at a small theater in Malaga. He began working in small shops during Spain's post-dictatorial cultural movement known as La Movida Madrilena. 7. While performing with the theater, Banderas caught the attention of Spanish director Pedro Almodóvar, who gave the young actor his film debut in the screwball sex comedy Labyrinth of Passion, 1982. 5 years later, he went on to appear in the director's comedic thriller Law of Desire, 1987, making headlines with his performance as a gay man, which required him to engage in his first male-to-male on-screen kiss. Banderas appeared in Almodóvar's surrealist sex comedy Matador, with Vincent Canby of the New York Times writing, "The movie looks terrific and is acted with absolute, straight-faced conviction by the excellent cast headed by Miss Serna, Mr. Martinez, and Mr. Banderas." 8. The director cast him in his internationally acclaimed 1988 film, Women on the Verge of a Nervous Breakdown. Rita Kempley of the Washington Post described Banderas' performance as warm and described the film as a glossy delight. 9. The recognition Banderas gained for his role increased years later, when he starred in Almodóvar's controversial Tie Me Up, Tie Me Down, 1989, as a mental patient who kidnaps a porn star, Victoria Abril, and keeps her tied up until she returns his love. 6. The breakthrough role helped spur him on to Hollywood. 10. Almodóvar is credited with helping launch Banderas' international career, as he became a regular feature in his films throughout the 1980s. 11. 1990 to 1999, Hollywood stardom. Banderas in 1997. In 1991, Madonna introduced Banderas to Hollywood. He was an object of her desires in her pseudo-documentary film of one of her concert tours, Madonna, Truth or Dare. 12. The following year, still speaking minimal English, he began acting in American films. Despite having to learn all his lines phonetically, Banderas still managed to turn in a critically praised performance as a struggling musician in his first American drama film, The Mambo Kings, 1992. 13. Kenneth Duran of the Los Angeles Times described Banderas as giving a quietly effective job. 14. David Nansen of Newsweek declared, Banderas had to learn English to play this role, but you wouldn't know it, he plumbs all the nuances of charm and self-pity in Nesta's melancholic soul. 15. Owen Gleiberman of Entertainment Weekly also praised Banderas' performance writing, he gives a surprisingly confident and subtle performance as the implosive Nestor. 16. Banderas then broke through to mainstream American audiences in the 1993 Jonathan Demme film Philadelphia as the life partner of lawyer Tom Hanks. Also in 1993, he acted in the Billy August-directed The House of the Spirits, an adaptation of the Isabel Allende novel of the same name. Banderas acted alongside Meryl Streep, Jeremy Irons, Glenn Close, and Winona Ryder. 17. The film's success earned Banderas wide recognition, and the following year, he was given a role in Neil Jordan's high-profile adaptation of Anne Rice's Interview with the Vampire, 1994, sharing the screen with Brad Pitt, Tom Cruise, and Kirsten Dunst. 6. He starred in several major Hollywood films, including the Robert Rodriguez-directed neo-Western action film Desperado, 1995, alongside Salma Hayek, Steve Buscemi, and Quentin Tarantino. The film was a financial success. 18. Owen Gleiberman of Entertainment Weekly wrote, the movie's greatest visual coup is Banderas himself. The camera loves this velvet stud as much as it did the young Clint Eastwood. 19. That same year, Banderas portrayed the antagonist in the Richard Donner-directed action film Assassins, co-starring opposite Sylvester Stallone and Julianne Moore. 20. In 1996, he starred alongside Madonna in the musical film Evita, an adaptation of the stage musical by Andrew Lloyd Webber and Tim Rice in which he played the narrator, Che, a role played by David Essex in the original 1978 West End production. Janet Maslin of the New York Times wrote that Banderas does an unexpectedly splendid job as the film's conspiratorial singing narrator. 21. For his performance, he was nominated for the Golden Globe Award for Best Actor in a Motion Picture, Musical or Comedy. 22. He also had success with his role as the masked swordsman Zorro in the 1998 film The Mask of Zorro, starring Anthony Hopkins and Catherine Zeta-Jones. Roger Ebert praised the on-screen chemistry between the two leads, writing, "The best scenes in the movie are between Banderas and Zeta-Jones, who share chemistry and, it turns out, a sense of justice." 23. His performance earned him another Golden Globe Award nomination. 24. In 1999, he starred in the historical action film The 13th Warrior, a movie about a Muslim caught up in a war between the Northmen and human-eating beasts. 25. 2000 to 2009, Broadway debut and franchise films. Salma Hayek and Banderas at the premiere of Puss in Boots, 2011. In 2001, Banderas collaborated with Robert Rodriguez, who cast him in the first 3 movies of the Spy Kids franchise, 2001 to 2003. He portrayed Gregorio Cortez, a retired OSS agent, alongside Carla Gugino, who played his wife, Ingrid Cortez. Roger Ebert praised the first film, describing it as giddy with the joy of its invention. It's an exuberant, colorful extravaganza, wall-to-wall with wildly original sets and visual gimmicks, and smart enough to escape the kids' film category and play in the mainstream. 26. He also starred in Michael Christopher's original Sin alongside Angelina Jolie the same year. In 2002, he portrayed social realist painter David Alfaro Siqueiros in Julie Taymor's biographical drama Frida, with Salma Hayek playing Frida Kahlo. 27. That same year, he starred in Brian De Palma's erotic thriller Femme Fatale opposite Rebecca Romijn, and in 2003, he starred in the last installment of the trilogy Once Upon a Time in Mexico, in which he appeared with Johnny Depp and Hayek. Banderas' debut as a director was the poorly received Crazy in Alabama, 1999, starring his then-wife Melanie Griffith. 28. He starred in the Christopher Hampton-directed historical drama Imagining Argentina, 2003, alongside Emma Thompson. 29. Banderas made his Broadway debut playing Guido Cantinai in the 2003 revival of Maury Yeston's musical 9, based on the film 8 1/2, playing the prime role originated by Raul Julia. Ben Brantley, the chief theater critic of the New York Times, wrote that Banderas was a bona fide matinee idol for the 21st century, a pocket Adonis who suggests a more sensitive, less menacing variation on the Latin lovers of yore, adding that he has an appealingly easy stage presence and an agreeable singing voice that shifts, a bit abruptly, between pop whisperiness and Broadway belting. 30. He won both the Outer Critics Circle Award and the Drama Desk Award for Best Actor in a Musical and was nominated for the Tony Award for Best Actor in a Musical. 31. His performance is preserved on the Broadway cast recording released by PS Classics. Later that year, he received the Rita Moreno Ola Award for Excellence from the Hispanic Organization of Latin Actors. 32. Also in 2003, he starred as Mexican revolutionary Pancho Villa in the HBO television film and starring Pancho Villa as himself. Banderas acted alongside Alan Arkin, Jim Broadbent, and Michael McKean. The film was directed by Bruce Beresford and written by Larry Gelbart. 33. Phil Gallo of Variety wrote, "Villa was larger than life, and Banderas vibrantly captures his bravado. Everything in the telepic, though, is designed to make Villa a likable force, which pushes and pulls Banderas in a number of directions, only some of which play well. Eventually, Villa exposes a dark side in the man, and Banderas forsakes crafting the image of a hero to allow the man's ambiguity to shine." 34. Banderas was nominated for the Primetime Emmy Award for Outstanding Lead Actor in a Limited or Anthology Series or Movie and the Golden Globe Award for Best Actor, Miniseries or Television Film for his performance. 35. The following year, Banderas portrayed Puss in Boots in the DreamWorks animated film Shrek 2, 2004. Todd McCarthy of Variety praised his performance, writing that he is deliciously sending up his Zorro persona. 36. The film was an immense box office and critical hit. 37-38 It went on to receive a nomination for the Academy Award for Best Animated Feature. 39 Banderas reprised his role in Shrek the Third, 2007, and the last film in the Shrek franchise, Shrek Forever After, 2010, which helped make the character popular on the family film circuit. In all of his mainline appearances as Puss in Boots, he has also voiced him in Spanish. This is also true for the film Assassins. In 2005, he reprised his role as Zorro in The Legend of Zorro. In 2006, he starred in Take the Lead, a high-set movie in which he played a ballroom dancing teacher. That year, he directed his second film, El Camino de los Ingleses, based on the novel by Antonio Soler, and also received the L.A. Latino International Film Festival's Gaby Lifetime Achievement Award on October 14. 40 Banderas received a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame in 2005, the 2,294th person to do so. 41 His star is located on the north side of the 6800 block of Hollywood Boulevard. 42. 2010, present, reunion with Almodovar. Penelope Cruz, Pedro Almodovar, and Banderas promoting Pain and Glory, 2019. Banderas acted in the Woody Allen-directed comedy drama You Will Meet a Tall Dark Stranger, 2010, starring Anthony Hopkins, Josh Brolin, and Naomi Watts. The film premiered at the Cannes Film Festival and received mixed reviews. 43 The following year, he starred in the horror thriller The Skin I Live In, 2011, which marked the return of Banderas to Pedro Almodovar, the Spanish director who launched his international career. The two had not worked together since 1990, Tie Me Up, Tie Me Down. In The Skin I Live In, he breaks out of the Latin lover mold from his Hollywood work and stars as a calculating revenge-seeking plastic surgeon following the rape of his daughter. According to the Associated Press, Banderas' performance is among his strongest in recent memory. 11 That same year, he reprised his voice role as Puss in Boots, this time as the protagonist of the Shrek spin-off prequel, Puss in Boots. This film reunited Banderas with Salma Hayek for the sixth time. 44 The film received critical acclaim and was a box office hit. 45-46 Banderas took a small role in Almodovar's comedy I'm So Excited, 2013, and also acted in Steven Soderbergh's action thriller Haywire, 2011, Jonathan Dayton and Valerie Faris romance fantasy Ruby Sparks, 2012, and Terrence Malick's experimental drama Knight of Cups, 2015. 47 Banderas starred in the SpongeBob movie, Sponge Out of Water as Burger Beard, the film's main antagonist. In 2018, Banderas starred in the National Geographic limited series Genius, Picasso as the noted sculptor and painter Pablo Picasso. For his performance, he received a Primetime Emmy Award, a Screen Actors Guild Award, and a Golden Globe Award nomination. He also acted in Life Itself, 2018, which premiered at the Toronto International Film Festival. 48. Banderas won the Goya Award for Best Actor for his role in Pain and Glory, 2019. In 2019, Banderas starred in the Spanish film Pain and Glory, Dolor y Gloria, directed by Pedro Almodovar. 49 The film centers around an aging film director played by Banderas who has a chronic illness and writer's block as he reflects on his life in flashbacks to his childhood. On May 25, 2019, Banderas won the Cannes Film Festival Award for Best Actor for his role in the film. 50 Manala Dargis of the New York Times praised his performance, writing that Banderas's melancholic presence and subtle, intricate performance add depth and intensities of feeling, because he draws so flawlessly from Almodovar. 51. He was later nominated for his first ever Academy Award for Best Actor in a Leading Role for Pain and Glory and lost to Joaquin Phoenix for his role in Joker, 2019. 52-53. That same year, Banderas starred in Steven Soderbergh's Netflix film The Laundromat alongside Meryl Streep and Gary Oldman. During this time, he starred in Spanish-language adaptations of the musicals A Chorus Line, 2019, and Company, 2021, at the Teatro del Soho CaixaBank in Spain. 54-55. In 2020, he co-starred with Robert Downey Jr. in the fantasy-adventure film Dolittle. The following year, he starred in the black comedy Official Competition alongside Penelope Cruz, which had its world premiere at the 78th Venice International Film Festival. 56. The film is a meta-comedy and satire on the film industry. A.O. Scott of the New York Times wrote, "Banderas can be marvelously subtle and affecting as well as magnetic. It's almost indecent for someone so beautiful to possess such skill, and you might have to go back to the old days to Gary Cooper to find a matinee idol with equivalent gifts." 57. In 2022, Banderas appeared as Santiago Moncada, the antagonist of the film Uncharted with Tom Holland and Mark Wahlberg. 58. He also returned to work for DreamWorks Animation, reprising his voice as Puss in Boots in the sequel Puss in Boots, The Last Wish with Hayek again, and a new cast with Florence Pugh, Olivia Colman, Ray Winstone, and Wagner Moura. In 2023, he appeared in Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny with Harrison Ford, Mads Mikkelsen, Phoebe Waller-Bridge, and Toby Jones. He also portrayed Herod in the Christmas musical film Journey to Bethlehem. 59. In June 2023, it was announced that Banderas was cast in Paddington in Peru in the role of Hunter Cabot. 60 other co-stars include Hugh Bonneville, Emily Mortimer, Olivia Colman, and Jim Broadbent. 61. He starred opposite Nicole Kidman in the A24 erotic thriller Baby Girl, directed by Helena Ridgen. 62. New stage as theater producer. Antonio Banderas has always declared that what makes him happiest is theater. On November 15, 2019, his theater project, the Teatro del Soho CaixaBank 63, opened its doors in Malaga. It is a creation center dedicated to the production, exhibition, and distribution of shows, and training in the different areas of the performing arts. 64-65. Beginning in 2024, Banderas has also sponsored a new performing arts school in Malaga, the Sarlan Andalusia School of Arts. The school is located on an old metallurgical factory, and its objective is to become a center in which to design, create, and export Andalusian talent to the world. 66. Acting credits and awards. Main article, list of Antonio Banderas performances. Banderas's films that have earned the most at the box office, as of 2023, include The House of the Spirits, 1993. Philadelphia, 1993. Interview with the Vampire, 1994. Assassins, 1995. Desperado, 1995. Evita, 1996. The Mask of Zorro, 1998. Spy Kids, 2001. Femme Fatale, 2002. Once Upon a Time in Mexico, 2003. Shrek 2, 2004. The Legend of Zorro, 2005. Take the Lead, 2006. You Will Meet a Tall Dark Stranger, 2010. Puss in Boots, 2011. The Skin I Live In, 2011. Pain and Glory, 2019. Uncharted, 2022. Puss in Boots, The Last Wish, 2022. Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny, 2023. Personal life. He is a longtime supporter of Malaga CF. 67. In May 2010, Banderas received an honorary doctorate from the University of Malaga. 10. He received an honorary degree from Dickinson College in 2000. 68. In August 2015, Banderas enrolled in a fashion design course at Central St. Martin's. 69. As of 2016, Banderas resides in the United Kingdom in Cobham, Surrey. 70. Religious beliefs. Banderas once described himself as an agnostic in an interview with People magazine in 2006. I have to recognize that I am agnostic. I don't believe in any kind of fundamentalism. I prefer to take life in a different way, with a sense of humor. I try to teach my kids to be open. Whatever they believe is fine with me. 71. He does describe himself close to Catholic spirituality, especially to Holy Week, which he considers a metaphor for life. 72. He is an officer, mayordomo de Trino, of a religious brotherhood in his hometown of Malaga and travels during Holy Week to take part in the processions. 73. Banderas developed his relationship with Catholicism back in 1994 after a spiritual search. 74-75. There was a moment in my life in which I separated a bit from the church. I was searching for a spiritual connection in other places, until in 1994, after my brother had a surgery we were very afraid of, in which we could lose him, I realized I should have not searched for so much, that I had always that connection with the transcendental in front of my face. It also happened in a way which followed our own traditions, which we shouldn't look for in the Buddha, as these characters were right there. In my own neighborhood was that way to connect myself to the transcendental through the passion of the Christ, until concluding in resurrection. In 2021, he described his religious beliefs and vision of the Holy Week to page 76. I live comfortably in the mystery, I'm very doubting, I don't know if agnostic is exactly the word. But I think yes, there is something, although we don't know what is it. The Big Bang, yes, and before the Big Bang, what? Holy Week has many colors, it's a very strange polydrome. It is related to faith, popular religion, and Andalusian idiosyncrasy. It's just the Roman Ides of March, winter dies and spring is born. The Andalusian version is so colorful and merry because everybody knows the guy will resurrect on Sunday. And there is a happy ending. Relationships. Banderas with then-wife Melanie Griffith in 2010. Banderas married Ana Leza Es in 1987 and divorced her in 1996. He met and began a relationship with American actress Melanie Griffith in 1995 while shooting Too Much. 777. They married on May 14, 1996, in London. They have a daughter, Stella del Carmen Banderas, born September 24, 1996, who appeared on screen with Griffith in Banderas' directorial debut Crazy in Alabama, 1999. In 2002, the couple received the Stella Adler Angel Award for their extensive philanthropy. Griffith had a tattoo of Banderas' name on her right arm that has since been removed. 78. In June 2014, Banderas and Griffith announced they were divorcing in a loving and friendly manner. 79. Despite irreconcilable differences. 80. The divorce became official in December 2015. 81. Despite their divorce, Banderas and Griffith remain close friends. His former stepdaughter Dakota Johnson considers Banderas part of the family, calling him a bonus dad. 82-83. As of November 2015, Banderas is dating Nicole Kimple, an investment banker. 84. Health. In 2009, Banderas underwent surgery for a benign tumor in his back. 85. Speaking at the Malaga Film Festival in March 2017, Banderas revealed he had suffered a heart attack on January 26, 2017, but said it wasn't serious and hasn't caused any damages. Following that incident, he underwent heart surgery to insert 3 stents into his arteries. 86. In a Fresh Air interview in September 2019, he recalled it as being life-changing. He said, "It just gave me a perspective of who I was, and it just made the important things go to the surface. When I say this, People may just think that I'm crazy, but it's one of the best things that ever happened in my life. 87. Business ventures. Banderas, center-right, with members of the 33 and Chile government officials in 2015. He has invested some of his film earnings in Andalusian products, which he promotes in Spain and the US. He owns 50% of a winery in Villalba de Duero, Burgos, Spain, called Anta Banderas, which produces red and rose wines. 88. He performed a voiceover for an animated bee, which were broadcast in the United States in television commercials for Nasonex 89, an allergy medication, and was seen in the 2007 Christmas advertising campaign for Marks & Spencer, a British retailer. 90. He is a veteran of the perfume industry. The actor has been working with fragrance and beauty multinational company Puig for over 10 years, becoming one of the brand's most successful representatives. Banderas and Puig have successfully promoted a number of fragrances so far: Diavolo for women, Mediterraneo, Spirit, and Spirit for women. After the success of Antonio for men and Blue Seduction for men in 2007, he launched his latest, Blue Seduction for women, the following year. 91. Awards and honors. Main article, list of awards and nominations received by Antonio Banderas. Banderas has received many award nominations throughout his career, including an Academy Award nomination for Pain and Glory. He also received 5 Golden Globe Award nominations for his work ranging from films to television. He has also received 2 Primetime Emmy Award nominations for his work on the television projects and starring Pancho Villa as himself, 2004, and Genius, Picasso, 2018. He also received a Screen Actors Guild Award nomination for his performance as Pablo Picasso in Genius, Picasso. In 2003, he received a Tony Award nomination for Best Actor in a Musical for his performance in the Broadway musical production of Nine. That year, however, he did win the Drama Desk Award for Outstanding Actor in a Musical for his performance in Nine. In 2019, he won the Cannes Film Festival Award for Best Actor, the European Film Award for Best Actor, the Goya Award for Best Actor, and the New York Film Critics Circle Award for Best Actor for his performance in Almodovar's Pain and Glory. Salma Hayek Hayek 3 Spanish, Salma Hayek, née Hayek Jimenez, born September 2, 1966, 456 is a Mexican and American actress and film producer. She began her career in Mexico with starring roles in the telenovela Teresa, 1989–1991, as well as the romantic drama Midak Ali, 1995. She soon established herself in Hollywood with appearances in films such as Desperado, 1995, From Dusk Till Dawn, 1996, Wild Wild West, 1999, and Dogma, 1999. Hayek's portrayal of painter Frida Kahlo in the biopic Frida, 2002, which she also produced, made her the first Mexican actress to be nominated for the Academy Award for Best Actress. 7 In subsequent years, Hayek focused more on producing while starring in the action-centered pictures Once Upon a Time in Mexico, 2003, After the Sunset, 2004, and Banderas, 2006. She achieved further commercial success with the comedies Grown Ups, 2010, Grown Ups 2, 2013, and The Hitman's Bodyguard, 2017, and lent her voice for the animated Puss in Boots, 2011, Sausage Party, 2016, and Puss in Boots, The Last Wish, 2022. She also earned critical acclaim for her performances in the dramas Tale of Tales, 2015, Beatriz at Dinner, 2017, and House of Gucci, 2021. She played a Jack in the Marvel Cinematic Universe film Eternals, 2021, which emerged as her highest-grossing live-action film. Hayek's directing, producing, and acting work on television has earned her 4 Emmy Awards nominations. She won the Daytime Emmy Award for Outstanding Directing in a Children's Special for The Maldonado Miracle, 2004, and received 2 Primetime Emmy Award nominations, one for Outstanding Guest Actress in a Comedy Series and the other for Outstanding Comedy Series, for her work on the ABC television comedy drama Ugly Betty, 2006 to 2010. She also produced and played Minerva Mirabal in the Showtime film In the Time of the Butterflies, 2001, and guest starred on the NBC comedy series 30 Rock, 2009 to 2013. 8. As a public figure, Hayek has been cited as one of Hollywood's most powerful and influential Latina actresses as well as one of the world's most beautiful women by various media outlets. Time magazine named her one of the 100 most influential people in the world in 2023. 9. In 2021, she was honored with a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. She is married to business magnate François-Henri Pinault, with whom she has a daughter. Early life. Salma Hayek was born in Coatzacoalcos, Veracruz, Mexico. 10. Her father, Sami Hayek Dominguez, is of Lebanese descent. 11. His ancestors hail from the city of Baghdad, Lebanon, a city Salma and her father visited in 2015 to promote her movie Khalil Gibran's The Prophet. 12. 13. 14. 15. He owns an industrial equipment firm and is an oil company executive in Mexico. 10. He once ran for mayor of Coatzacoalcos. 16. 17. Her mother, Diana Jimenez Medina, is an opera singer and talent scout. She is of Spanish descent. While visiting Madrid in an interview in 2015 with Un Nuevo Dia, Hayek described herself as 50% Lebanese and 50% Spanish, saying that her grandmother/maternal great-grandparents were from Spain. 11. 18. 19. 20. Her younger brother, Sami, is a furniture designer. 10. Hayek was raised in a wealthy, devout Catholic family. 21. And at age 12 opted to study at the Academy of the Sacred Heart in Grand Coteau, Louisiana. 11. In school, she was diagnosed with dyslexia. 22. She attended university at the Universidad Iberoamericana studying international relations. 11. In a 2011 interview with V Magazine, Hayek mentioned that she had once been an illegal immigrant in the United States, although it was not for a long period of time. 23. Career. Early roles in Mexico, 1988 to 1994. Hayek's first screen appearance was in the television series In Un Nuevo Amanecer, 1988, which earned her the TV Y Novelas Award for Best Debut Actress. Televisa subsequently selected Hayek, who was 23 at the time, to play the title role in Teresa, 1989 to 1991, a successful Mexican telenovela that made her a star in Mexico. 24. The series ran for 2 years and 125 episodes, earning her the 1990 TV Y Novelas Award for Best Female Revelation. 25. Determined to pursue a film career in Hollywood, Hayek moved to Los Angeles in 1991 following the conclusion of Teresa. 26. With limited fluency in English and dyslexia. 27. She soon enrolled in English lessons and studied acting under Stella Adler. 28. 29. Hayek initially struggled with the lack of acting job offers after moving to the United States, recalling that there was no industry or parts for Latin women. 27. And was once even told that her accent would make moviegoers think of housekeepers. 27. During this period, she secured guest spots in television series such as Dream On, 1992, and The Sinbad Show, 1993, as well as supporting roles in the drama Mi Vida Loca, 1993, and the made-for-Showtime thriller Road Racers, 1994, her first collaboration with director Robert Rodriguez. 30. In 1994, Hayek was cast as Alma, a poverty-stricken young woman who becomes a sex worker, in Jorge Fonse's drama El Callejón de los Milagros, Miracle Alley, which was based on the 1940s eponymous novel by Egyptian Nahib Mahfouz and translated from Cairo to Mexico City. The film was the subject of critical acclaim, reportedly won more awards than any other movie in the history of Mexican cinema, and earned Hayek a nomination for the Ariel Award for Best Actress. 31 Hayek was one of the few actresses permitted to appear on both Televisa and TV Azteca, through a special dispensation from Emilio Azcárraga Milmo, who tried to persuade her to return to Mexico with an exclusive deal, which she declined in order to pursue a career in Hollywood. 32. Hollywood breakthrough, 1995 to 2001. Hayek in 1998 at the White House Correspondents' Dinner. In 1995, Robert Rodriguez and his co-producer and then wife, Elizabeth Avellán 26 cast Hayek opposite Antonio Banderas in the starring role of self-confident and feisty Carolina in Desperado, her breakout film. 331126 describing the film's process as grueling. 27 Hayek had to audition several times for Rodriguez before landing the part, and a love scene in the script proved particularly difficult for her to film because she did not want to be nude on camera. She once remarked, "It took 8 hours to film instead of an hour." 27 budgeted at $7 million, Desperado was a commercial success, grossing $25.4 million in the United States. 34 A brief role as a vampire queen followed in Rodriguez's cult horror film From Dusk Till Dawn, 1996, in which she performed an erotic tabletop snake dance. 35-36 She also appeared in the 1996 drama Follow Me Home and the cop comedy Fled. 37. Hayek next starred in the romantic comedy Fool's Rush in 1997, as a photographer in an on and off relationship with a New York City architect, played by Matthew Perry. Critic Roger Ebert gave the film 3 out of 4 stars and described it as a sweet, entertaining retread of an ancient formula, elevated by good performances, particularly Hayek's, and an insightful level of observation and human comedy. 38 Fool's Rush In was a moderate commercial success and earned Hayek an Alma Award nomination for Outstanding Actress in a Feature Film. In another romantic comedy, Breaking Up, also 1997, she and Russell Crowe portrayed a couple whose relationship leads to an out-of-the-blue marriage. Ken Eisner of Variety wrote, "Russell Crowe and Salma Hayek make attractive leads, but they have neither the marquee power nor the requisite chemistry to keep Breaking Up from getting left at the altar of general distribution." 39. Indeed, the film was distributed for selected markets in the United States only. 40. In 1998, Hayek played an aspiring young singer in the 1970s New York City nightlife scene in Mark Christopher's drama 54, a donut shop waitress in Dan Ireland's dramedy The Velocity of Gary, and a nurse in Rodriguez's supernatural horror film The Faculty. In 1999, Hayek was unorthodoxly cast in Kevin Smith's religious satire Dogma as Serendipity, the muse who throughout history inspired all the geniuses of art and music, like Mozart and Michelangelo, and never got any of the credit. 41 She also portrayed the alleged daughter of a kidnapped scientist alongside Will Smith in the period western Wild Wild West. Dogma was well received by critics and audiences, but Wild Wild West proved a commercial failure despite being one of the most expensive films ever made at the time of its release. 42-43 Hayek founded her production company, Ventana Rosa, in 1999, through which she produces film and television projects. Her first feature as a producer was El Coronel Notion Quien Le Escriba, 1999, Mexico's official selection for Best Foreign Film at the Oscars. 44 In 2000, Hayek had an uncredited role in Traffic, and played an aspiring actress in Mike Figgis' experimental film Time Code, a waitress in the Spanish drama Living It Up, and a cop and playboy model in the heist comedy Chain of Fools. 45 She also produced and starred in the television film In the Time of the Butterflies, 2001, based on the book by Julia Alvarez book about the Mirabal sisters. Hayek played one of the sisters, Minerva, and Edward James Olmos played the Dominican dictator Rafael Leonidas Trujillo, whom the sisters opposed. 46. Worldwide recognition, 2002 to 2009. In Julie Taymor's biographical film Frida, 2002, Hayek served as a producer and starred as surrealist painter Frida Kahlo. She became interested in the role several years prior to commencing production for the film, having been fascinated by Kahlo's work from the time she was 13 or 14, although not immediately a fan. At that age I did not like her work, I found it ugly and grotesque. But something intrigued me, and the more I learned, the more I started to appreciate her work. There was a lot of passion and depth. Some people see only pain, but I also see irony and humor. I think what draws me to her is what husband Diego saw in her. She was a fighter. Many things could have diminished her spirit, like the accident or Diego's infidelities. But she wasn't crushed by anything. 47 She was so determined to play the role that she sought out Dolores Almeida Patino, longtime lover of Diego Rivera, and, after his death, administrator to the rights of Frida and Rivera's art, which Rivera had willed, to the Mexican people, bequeathing the trust to Almeida. 48 Hayek personally secured access to Kahlo's paintings from Kahlo and began to assemble a supporting cast, approaching Alfred Molina for the role of Rivera in 1998. Upon its release, Frida was a critical darling and an Arthur's success. In his review for the film, David Denby of The New Yorker concluded, "Smart, willful, and perverse, this Frida is nobody's servant, and the tiny Hayek plays her with head held high." Her portrayal of Kahlo made her the first Mexican actress to be nominated for the Academy Award for Best Actress and earned her Golden Globe Award, Screen Actors Guild Award and British Academy Film Award nominations for Best Actress. In 2003, Hayek produced and directed The Maldonado Miracle, a Showtime film based on the book of the same name, for which she won the Daytime Emmy Award for Outstanding Directing in a Children's Special. 49 Reunited with Robert Rodriguez for Spy Kids 3D, Game Over and Once Upon a Time in Mexico. 50 and made an appearance in the documentary V-Day, Until the Violence Stops. Once Upon a Time in Mexico, which made $98.2 million worldwide. 51 was the final film of the Mariachi trilogy and featured Hayek reprising her role from Desperado. Hayek at the 2004 Guadalajara International Film Festival. In Brett Ratner's action comedy After the Sunset, 2004, Hayek starred as the girlfriend of a master thief, with Pierce Brosnan. A box office flop, the film received largely negative reviews from critics. 52 James Berardinelli found the film to be a mess, but it's a fun, breezy mess, criticizing the overall heist and weak characterization but gave praise to the quick-pacing chemistry between Brosnan and Hayek. 53 In 2005, she served as a member of the 58th Cannes Film Festival jury, co-hosted the annual Nobel Peace Prize concert with Julianne Moore in Oslo, Norway. 54-55 and directed a music video for Prince, titled Te Amo Corazon, I Love You, Sweetheart, that featured Mia Maestro. 56. Hayek appeared alongside her good friend Penelope Cruz in the 2006 Western comedy Banderas, portraying two women who become a bank-robbing duo in an effort to combat a ruthless enforcer terrorizing their town. Randy Cordova of the Arizona Republic said the film sports Hayek and her co-star Penelope Cruz as the lusty dream team and that they were the marketing fantasy for the film. 57 Bandidas was followed by Ask the Dust, a period romance set in Los Angeles based on a John Fante novel. 58 and co-starring Colin Farrell. Peter Bradshaw of The Guardian found something a little forced in both lead performances. 59 and with a limited theatrical release, the film was not a financial success. 60 Her last film of 2006 was Lonely Hearts, a neo-noir crime drama chronicling the notorious Lonely Hearts killers of the 1940s, Raymond Fernandez and Martha Beck, in which Hayek played Beck, with Jared Leto taking on the role of Fernandez. The film received mixed reviews from critics, but the cast garnered praise. Peter Travers of Rolling Stone stated, "When Hayek and Leto are on screen, you do not look away." 61. Hayek served as an executive producer for the American television series Ugly Betty, 2006 to 2010, after adapting the story for American television with Ben Silverman, who acquired the rights and scripts from the Colombian telenovela Yo Soy Betty La Fea in 2001. Originally intended as a half-hour sitcom for NBC in 2004, the project would later be picked up by ABC for the 2006 to 2007 season, with Silvio Horta also producing. She guest-starred on the series as Sophia Reyes, a magazine editor. Ugly Betty was a success with critics and audiences, won a Golden Globe Award for Best Comedy Series in 2007, and earned Hayek nominations for both Outstanding Guest Actress in a Comedy Series and Outstanding Comedy Series at the 59th Primetime Emmy Awards. 62 After finalizing negotiations with MGM to become the CEO of her own Latin-themed film production company, Ventanarosa, in 2007, 63 Hayek signed a 2-year deal with ABC for Ventanarosa to develop projects for the network. 64. In 2007, Hayek made a cameo appearance, as a nurse singing a cover of the Beatles' song Happiness is a Warm Gun, in Julie Taymor's jukebox musical romantic drama Across the Universe. The role of Madame Truska, a woman who can grow an indestructible beard, in Cirque du Freak, The Vampire's Assistant, 2009, was Hayek's first acting project following the birth of her daughter. She characterized the film, which was an adaptation of the book series The Saga of Darren Shan by author Darren Shan, as a little bit of hard work. But it's not like I have to be emotionally devastated for months. 65 The film was a critical and commercial failure. 66-67 Screen Rant felt that Hayek is fun as the bearded lady Madame Truska but is unable to single-handedly elevate the material. 68. Continued commercial success, 2010 to 2017. In 2010, Hayek played a fashion designer and the wife of a Hollywood talent agent, Adam Sandler, in the comedy Grown Ups, which, despite a negative critical reception, made $271.4 million globally. 69 She is the voice of Kitty Softpaws, a street-savvy tuxedo cat, alongside Antonio Banderas in Puss in Boots, 2011. 70 A spin-off of the Shrek franchise, Puss in Boots received positive reviews from critics, grossed $554.9 million at the box office 71 and was nominated for Best Animated Feature at the 84th Academy Awards. In 2011, she also obtained Hispanic roles in 2 international productions, a dancer in the French drama Americano and the wife of a former advertising executive in the Spanish As Luck Would Have It, which earned her nominations for the San Sebastian International Film Festival Award for Best Actress and the Goya Award for Best Actress, respectively. Hayek at the 2012 Deauville American Film Festival. In 2012, Hayek directed Jada Pinkett Smith in the music video Nada Se Compara, 7273 lent her voice for Peter Lord's animated film The Pirates, in an adventure with scientists, and played a cartel leader in Oliver Stone's action film Savages and a school nurse in Frank Corace's comedy Here Comes the Boom. She reprised her role in Grown Ups 2, 2013, which, like the first film, was a commercial success despite a negative critical response. 74-75. Hayek served as a producer and provided her voice for the character of Camila, a widowed mother, in The Prophet, 2014, adapted from the 1923 book by Khalil Gibran. Describing the film as a love letter to my heritage, Hayek said it helped her explore her relationship with her late grandfather, who was a fan of the book, and remarked, "Between all the connections of our ancestors and the memories of the ones that are no longer with us, I hope they are proud of this film because I did it also for them." 76 In 2014, she made a brief appearance in James Bobin's comedy sequel Muppets Most Wanted, starred as a woman forced into sexual slavery in Joe Lynch's action drama Everly, and reunited with Pierce Brosnan to play his love interest in Tom Bond's romantic comedy Some Kind of Beautiful. Everly and Some Kind of Beautiful were both distributed for online markets and poorly received, while critics noted that the former benefits from Joe Lynch's stylish direction and Salma Hayek's starring work, but it's too thinly written and sleazily violent to fully recommend. 77 Rotten Tomatoes gave the latter a 6% rating based on 34 reviews. 78. In Tale of Tales, 2015, a European fantasy film directed and written by Matteo Garrone, Hayek appeared as the 17th century Queen of Long Trellis. A screen adaptation based on collections of tales by Italian poet and courtier Giambattista Basile, the film competed for the Palme d'Or at the 68th Cannes Film Festival. 7980 in 2016, Hayek voiced the role of Teresa del Taco in Sausage Party, an adult animated film she described as the naughtiest thing I've ever done. I never thought I'd ever say some of those things out loud. But I had a lot of fun. It's a different kind of crazy. 81 The highest grossing R-rated animated film of all time, Sausage Party grossed $140.4 million worldwide. 82. Hayek took on the role of a holistic medicine practitioner who attends a wealthy client's dinner party in Miguel Arteta's drama Beatriz at Dinner, 2017, 83, which Owen Gleiberman of Variety called a small-scale but elegantly deft squirm fest that features a luminous performance by the actress. 84 That role earned Hayek an Independent Spirit Film Award nomination for Best Female Lead. 85 The comedy How to Be a Latin Lover, 2017, was a sleeper hit upon its release and featured Hayek as the estranged sister of a man who has made a career of seducing rich older women. 86 Her last film outing of 2017 was Patrick Hughes's action comedy The Hitman's Bodyguard, in which she starred as the wife of a convicted hitman, opposite Ryan Reynolds and Samuel L. Jackson. The film made an impressive $176.6 million globally. 87. 2018, present. Hayek was cast as Eva Torres, a high-frequency trading executive, alongside Jesse Eisenberg and Alexander Skarsgård, in Kim Nguyen's tech drama The Hummingbird Project, 2018, and as Nancy Teegerton, one half of a couple experiencing a series of financial crises, with Alec Baldwin, in Fred Wolf's comedy Drunk Parents, 2019. In 2020, Hayek appeared as a cosmetics mogul in Miguel Arteta's comedy Like a Boss, with Rose Byrne and Tiffany Haddish, and the alternative wife of a man in Sally Potter's drama The Road's Not Taken, with Javier Bardem and Elle Fanning. Hayek at the 2019 San Diego Comic-Con. The drama Bliss, 2021, which starred Hayek as a homeless woman befriending a recently divorced man, Owen Wilson, was released on Amazon Prime Video. 88 She next reunited with director Patrick Hughes and actors Ryan Reynolds and Samuel L. Jackson in Hitman's Wife's Bodyguard, the sequel for the 2017 film The Hitman's Bodyguard, which was released on June 16, 2021, to mediocre reviews. John DeFore of The Hollywood Reporter, however, praised Hayek's foul-mouthed portrayal, writing, "The one smart thing the film does is promote Salma Hayek, as the eponymous spouse of Samuel L. Jackson's hitman, from the small but scene-stealing role she played in the first film. At least we can appreciate Hayek's enthusiasm for the over-the-top role." 89 Unlike the first film, Hitman's Wife's Bodyguard had lackluster box office returns. Citation needed. Hayek portrayed a Jack, the wise and spiritual leader of the titular group, in the Marvel Cinematic Universe picture Eternals, directed by Chloe Zhao, who personally selected her for the role. 90 Initially surprised by Marvel's interest on her casting, 90 Hayek described her involvement in the film as empowering and recalled getting emotional upon seeing her character's superhero costume, stating, "It was because it means so much to so many people that, to think that for a Mexican girl, a Mexican woman in her 50s was able to be a superhero. I felt a lot of pride to have my superhero outfit on. It meant something." 91 Hayek, who is of both Spanish and Lebanese descent, subsequently became the first Arab actress with a main role in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. 92 The film, released in the United States on November 5, 2021, 93 generated a divergent critical response and made $401 million worldwide. 94 She has since signed a deal to star in multiple Marvel Cinematic Universe projects. 95 Her last film of 2021 was Ridley Scott's biographical crime drama House of Gucci, in which she played the friend and confidant of Patrizia Reggiani, Giuseppina Pina Orima, alongside Lady Gaga as Regine, Adam Driver, and her Lonely Hearts co-star Jared Leto. 96 Hayek then reprised her role as Kitty Softpaws in Puss in Boots, The Last Wish. 97, which received critical acclaim, grossed $485.30 million. 98.99, and like its predecessor was nominated for the Academy Award for Best Animated Feature. In June 2022, Hayek was cast in Angelina Jolie's upcoming film, Without Blood, based on the best-selling Italian novel by Alessandro Baricco. It was filmed in Rome, Apulia, and Basilicata. Hayek will star in the film alongside Demian Bichir. 100, 101, 102. In 2023, she appeared as herself in the episode Joan is Awful of the Netflix anthology Black Mirror. Citation needed. Other ventures. Advocacy. Hayek's charitable work includes increasing awareness on violence against women and discrimination against immigrants. 103, on July 19, 2005, Hayek testified before the U.S. Senate Committee on the Judiciary supporting reauthorizing the Violence Against Women Act. 104, in February 2006, she donated $25,000 to Acoatzacolcos, Mexico, shelter for battered women, and another $50,000 to Monterrey-based anti-domestic violence groups. 105, she is a board member of V-Day, the charity founded by playwright Eve Ensler. While Hayek previously stated that she is not a feminist. 106, she later revised her stance, stating, "I am a feminist because a lot of amazing women have made me who I am today. But, it should not be just because I am a woman." 107. Hayek also advocates breastfeeding. During a 2009 UNICEF fact-finding trip to Sierra Leone, she breastfed a hungry week-old baby whose mother could not produce milk. 108, Hayek said she did it to reduce the stigma associated with breastfeeding and to encourage infant nutrition. 109, in 2010, Hayek's humanitarian work earned her a nomination for the VH1 Do Something Awards. 110, in 2013, alongside Beyoncé and Frida Giannini, Hayek launched Chime for Change, a Gucci campaign that aims to spread female empowerment. 111, for International Women's Day 2014, Hayek was one of the artist signatories of Amnesty International's letter to then British Prime Minister David Cameron, campaigning for women's rights in Afghanistan. 112, following her visit to Lebanon in 2015, Hayek criticized the discrimination against women there. 15. On December 13, 2017, Hayek published an op-ed in the New York Times stating that she had been harassed and abused by film producer Harvey Weinstein during the production of Frida. 113. In 2019, the Pinot family pledged $113 million to support the reconstruction efforts of Notre Dame Cathedral in Paris, following its destruction in a fire. 114, in 2020, Hayek raised awareness through her Instagram for the disappearance of Vanessa Guillen. 115. Endorsements. Hayek was a spokeswoman for Revlon in 1998 and has been a spokeswoman for Avon Cosmetics since February 2004. 116, she modeled for Chopard in 2001, was featured in a series of Spanish-language commercials for Lincoln Cars in 2002. 117, and in Campari ads, photographed by Mario Testino, in 2006. 118, on April 3, 2009, she helped introduce La Donna, a watch by Cartier inspired by fellow Mexican actress Maria Felix. 119. Hayek has worked with the Procter & Gamble Company and UNICEF to promote the funding, through disposable diaper sales, of vaccines against maternal and neonatal tetanus. She is a global spokesperson for the Pampers/UNICEF partnership to help raise awareness of the program. 120, the partnership involves Procter & Gamble donating the cost of one tetanus vaccination, approximately 24 cents, 121 for every pack of Pampers sold. 122. In 2008, Hayek co-founded Juice Generation's juice delivery program Cooler Cleanse. 124. After writing the foreword to Juice Generation founder Eric Helms' 2014 book The Juice Generation, 100 Recipes for Fresh Juices and Superfood Smoothies. 125 She and Helms launched the beauty subscription delivery service Blend It Yourself in 2017, based on Hayek's personal beauty elixirs, which supplies subscribers with the prepared organic frozen smoothie and acai bowl ingredients. 123. 126. In 2011, Hayek launched her own line of cosmetics, skincare, and hair care products called Nuance by Salma Hayek, to be sold at CVS stores in North America. 127. Public image. Salma Hayek speaking at the 2014 San Diego Comic-Con. Early in her career, Hayek came to be regarded as a sex symbol, and most of her early films, it has been noted, such as the action-oriented Desperado, From Dusk Till Dawn, and Fled, predominantly featured her in racy sex symbol type of roles and ultimately made Hayek a familiar face with mainstream audiences. 128. Various media publications have cited her as one of Hollywood's most beautiful actresses. People named her one of the 50 most beautiful people in the world in 1996, 2003 and 2008. 129. Maxim ranked her 34th and 90th on their Hot 100 list in 2005 and 2007, respectively. 129 and FHM included her on their 100 Sexiest Women in the World list in 2005 and 2006. 129. A July 2007 poll by ePoll Market Research found Hayek to be the sexiest celebrity among a group of 3,000 public figures, with 65% of respondents using the term sexy to describe her. 130. The Armani dress Hayek wore to the 1997 Academy Awards was voted by E! Entertainment as one of the 5 most memorable in Oscar history. 129. From April 7 to June 18, 2006, the Blue Star Contemporary Art Center in San Antonio, Texas hosted an exhibition called Solamente Salma, Spanish for Only Salma, consisting of 16 portrait paintings by muralist George Yepes and filmmaker Robert Rodriguez. 131 of Hayek as the Aztec goddess Itzpapalotl. 132. 133. In July 2007, The Hollywood Reporter ranked Hayek 4th in their Latino Power 50, a list of the most powerful Latin members of Hollywood. 134. In 2008, she was awarded the Women in Film Lucy Award, in recognition of her creative works that have enhanced the perception of women through the medium of television. 135. And Entertainment Weekly ranked her 17th in their list of the 25 smartest people in TV. 136. Throughout her career, Hayek has graced the covers of numerous international magazines. 137 including North America's InStyle, Elle, Premiere, Glamour, and Variety. 137 Britain's Maxim, Marie Claire and Total Film. 137 and France's Entrevue and Madame Figaro. 137 She was one of 15 women selected to appear on the cover of the September 2019 issue of British Vogue, by guest editor Meghan, Duchess of Sussex. 138. Personal life. Hayek with her husband François-Henri Pinault at the 2015 Cannes Film Festival. Hayek is a naturalized United States citizen. 139. 140 She has studied at Ramtha School of Enlightenment. 141 and practices yoga. 142 Hayek, who was raised Catholic, stated in a 2007 interview that she was no longer devout and did not believe in the church, in part because she disagreed with practices such as its campaign against condoms in Africa, where she said AIDS and overpopulation were rampant, though she clarified that she still believed in Jesus Christ and God. 143. On March 9, 2007, Hayek confirmed her engagement to French billionaire and Kering CEO François-Henri Pinault as well as her pregnancy. She gave birth to their daughter on September 21, 2007, at Cedars-Sinai Medical Center in Los Angeles, CA. 144, 145, 146. They were married on Valentine's Day 2009 in Paris. 147 on April 25, 2009, they renewed their vows in Venice, Italy. Constance Marie is an American actress. She is best known for her roles as Angelina Angie Lopez in George Lopez, 2002 to 2007, and Marcela Quintanilla, mother of Selena, in the film Selena, 1997. She portrayed Regina Vasquez in the ABC Family/Freeform drama series Switched at Birth, 2011 to 2017. She also portrayed Camila Diaz in the Amazon Prime Video drama series Undone, 2019 to 2022. Early life. Marie was spotted at a club by Tony Basil, the dance choreographer for David Bowie, and she was hired for the Glass Spider Tour in 1987. She appeared on the 1988 concert video Glass Spider, which captured performances from that tour. 1. Career. Marie began her acting career when she was in her teenage years. She landed a spot in the 1988 film Salsa. Other television and film credits include Early Edition, Dirty Dancing, Selena, Spin City, and Ally McBeal. Marie was chosen for the role of Angie Lopez in the ABC comedy series George Lopez. In 2001, Marie starred in the comedy drama film Tortilla Soup alongside Hector Elizondo, Jacqueline Obradors, and Elizabeth Pina. She also appeared in the PBS drama series American Family. In October 2007, she launched her own clothing line, the Constance Marie Collection. Citation needed. In the same year, she appeared in an ad for PETA, encouraging people to spay and neuter their pets. 2. From 2011 to 2017, Marie had a starring role in the ABC Family/Freeform drama series Switched at Birth, portraying Regina Vasquez, the birth mother of one of the girls and legal mother of the other. Personal life. Marie was in a 15-year relationship with yoga instructor Kent Kadich, which ended in September 2015. Citation needed. They have a daughter born in 2009. Marie is a longtime vegetarian and raised her child as a vegetarian. Puss in Boots is a 2011 American animated adventure comedy film featuring the titular character originally from Shrek 2, 2004, and inspired by the fairy tale. Produced by DreamWorks Animation, the film was directed by Chris Miller and written by Tom Wheeler. Antonio Banderas stars as Puss in Boots, alongside Salma Hayek, Zach Galifianakis, Billy Bob Thornton, and Amy Sedaris. The film follows the origin story of Puss in Boots, before the events of Shrek 2. Accompanied by his friends, Humpty Dumpty and Kitty Softpaws, Puss is pitted against Jack and Jill, two murderous outlaws, for ownership of 3 legendary magical beans that lead to a great fortune of golden eggs from the Great Terror, a gigantic goose. Development began following the release of Shrek 2 in 2004. Originally titled Puss in Boots, the story of an ogre killer, it was announced as a direct-to-video film, scheduled to be released in 2008. In October 2006, the film was redeveloped as a theatrical release, with Shrek III, 2007, director Miller joining the project. Puss in Boots had its world premiere on October 16, 2011, aboard the cruise ship Allure of the Seas, and was released in theaters in the United States on October 28 by Paramount Pictures. The film was a critical and commercial success, grossing $555 million on a production budget of $130 million. At the 84th Academy Awards, the film was nominated for Best Animated Feature. A television series spin-off, The Adventures of Puss in Boots, premiered in January 2015, and a sequel, Puss in Boots: The Last Wish, was released in 2022. Plot. Puss in Boots is a Spanish-speaking anthropomorphic cat, named for his signature pair of boots. A fugitive on the run from the law, Puss is seeking to restore his lost honor. One night, he learns that the murderous outlaw couple Jack and Jill have the magic beans he has long sought, which can lead him to a giant's castle known by legend to contain valuable golden goose eggs. When Puss attempts to steal the beans at their hideout, a female cat named Kitty Softpaws interrupts. She was hired to steal them as well by Humpty Dumpty, a talking egg and Puss' long estranged childhood friend from the orphanage in San Ricardo, where they both were raised. Puss tells Kitty his origin story. He has been on the run from the law ever since Humpty tricked him into assisting in what turned out to be a failed bank robbery when they were teenagers. Humpty eventually persuades Puss to join them in finding the beans and retrieving the golden eggs. Puss and Kitty's relationship turns romantic and, despite Puss's initial grudge against Humpty, he slowly warms up to him. The trio steals the beans from Jack and Jill and plants them in the desert. They ride the beanstalk into the clouds and enter the giant's castle. There, Humpty reveals to Puss that the giant died a long time ago, but they manage to avoid the great terror who guards the golden goose and the golden eggs. They soon realize the eggs are too heavy, so decide to steal the golden goose after witnessing it lay miniature ones. They manage to escape the castle and cut down the beanstalk. After celebrating, the group is ambushed by Jack and Jill, and Puss is knocked unconscious. When he wakes, Puss assumes Humpty and Kitty were kidnapped and tracks Jack and Jill's wagon back to San Ricardo, where he learns that the kidnapping was staged. Jack, Jill, and Kitty are all working for Humpty, who is seeking revenge against him for abandoning him to be arrested. Puss is surrounded by the town's militia and turns himself in following pleas from his adoptive mother, Imelda. As he is hauled away to prison, Humpty is celebrated as a hero for bringing the wealth of golden eggs to the townspeople. In prison, Puss meets Andy Jack Beanstalk, who reveals that Humpty stole the beans from him when they shared a cell years ago. Jack explains to Puss that the Great Terror is the golden goose's mother, a gigantic bird who will stop at nothing to rescue her baby. Puss realizes that luring the huge goose to destroy San Ricardo was Humpty's intention all along, as he held a grudge against the town for imprisoning him. Kitty frees Puss from prison and apologizes, revealing her feelings for him. He locates Humpty in time and convinces him to redeem himself by helping to save San Ricardo from destruction. Using the gosling as bait, Puss and Humpty are able to lure the Great Terror away from town. With Kitty's help, they also thwart Jack and Jill's attempts to steal the gosling during the chase. As the group reaches the outskirts of town, Humpty and the gosling are knocked off a collapsing bridge, but manage to hang onto a rope that Puss grabs. When it becomes evident that Puss cannot save them both, Humpty sacrifices himself by letting go. After a fatal impact, Puss discovers that Humpty has a large golden egg underneath his shell. The Great Terror is reunited with her gosling, and she takes Humpty's golden egg and returns to her home in the clouds. Despite being hailed a hero by the townspeople for saving San Ricardo, Puss is still a fugitive in the eyes of the militia. He reunites with Imelda, who expresses her pride and love for Puss before he flees with Kitty, who playfully steals his boots. In the epilogue, Jack and Jill are recovering from their injuries. A restored Humpty is seen wearing a golden egg costume and dancing on the Great Terror's back with her gosling, and Puss and Kitty share a kiss. Voice cast. Main article, list of characters in the Shrek franchise. Salma Hayek, Antonio Banderas, and a costumed Puss in Boots at a premiere of the film in Paris. Antonio Banderas as Puss in Boots, a fugitive orange tabby cat trying to restore his reputation as the hero of San Ricardo.